Joined now by a man who knows well what happens behind those prayer lines every day, every night. Reverend Paul Willoughby joins me. Paul is a minister of follow-up on our 24/7 prayer lines, and he's also was for many years, you might recognize Paul as having been a producer and host of NightLight, a middle-of-the-night open line program that we produced at Crossroads for so many years. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Ron, great to be here. And seeing Patty on the clip there, I first met Patty as a caller into NightLight.
That's Justin Bieber's mom we saw a few moments ago.
Back in 2006. Numbers of times Patty called in, and one time, and she would share her story and just how God had met her after trying to take her life, as she shared there a moment ago. I said, Patty, would you join me on NightLight? She said, I'd love to. And of course, we arranged. She was my guest twice, where she shared the grace of God. And then, of course, we encouraged her to, she would come on Huntley and was on Full Circle. But it was there in the middle of the night, Ron. NightLight was there. It's Your Call is there. This ministry is geared to those who are broken. And the truth is, we are all broken.
Yeah, that's right.
Every one of us. Yeah. The scripture tells us in Psalm 34, verse 18, the Lord is close to the broken and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Just when we may think that God is far away because of our brokenness, because of whatever suicidal thoughts we may have, the Lord shouts to us, no, I'm close. I want to help you. I want to save those who are crushed in spirit.
Now, Paul, you know well, the people that are feeling that way on our prayer lines. We get so many calls, and if someone is in desperate need, we don't just leave them with that one call and a quick prayer. You call people back.
That's right.
You follow them up and you say, how can we help you further? Can I pray with you further?
Yep.
And you've connected with a lot of people, Paul, over the years who are suicidal. Maybe you can share a story.
A young gal from British Columbia called not too long ago, had come to the end of herself. Heroin will do that. She was sick of living, Ron, yet really not wanting to die. She was tired of her addiction. But gratefully, rather than ending it all, she somehow had found that prayer line. And she gave that number a call. And she talked to a caring prayer partner who shared the love of Jesus. People need to know they're loved, whatever they're going through. And she opened her life to the Lord. She found His forgiveness. And within an hour or two, we were making that initial call back to her, and then connected her to a caring church in her community who had a Celebrate Recovery program, Christian-based recovery program, and talked to her a number of times after that. And so this ministry is here for those who are hurting. And I would challenge you this morning, today, whatever time it is, do something. My wife and I have been prayer partners. We've been financial partners, sacrificial partners for many years. And I encourage you, I challenge you to do that, to allow this ministry to continue. We need people like you who will say, yes, I will do my part, whatever it may be. That's the key, whatever it may be. And we will be grateful. And others whose faces we may never see, they will be grateful too, Ron. They really will.
Now, Paul, you have been with the ministry a long time. You've been
from the beginning.
You've been a missionary overseas as well, and you know what it's like to connect with people who are broken. And you know, I asked yesterday Diana Morgan, who heads up the National Ministry Center area and overseas. I said, Diana, could you give me the statistics of how many suicidal calls we've had since we started recording statistics on the 24/7 prayer lines? And she gave it to me. It was 13,557 people called who were suicidal. Thank the Lord that we could be here. Thank you that we could be here for them.
Ron, can I say one thing regarding the prayer lines? When you get people praying, something happens. I found on NightLight, if I would invite a man to pray who was really broken, who was really hurting, so often when the man would begin to pray, he would begin to break. He would begin to open, and something would happen, and there would be a response, a connectedness and God helping, because God is there. He is present. He's not distant. He's not far off. He loves. He cares. He's reaching out to each of us.
Paul, we're glad that you are there, and I know you're usually on an evening shift because that's when you can connect with people most readily. So thank you for what you're doing. Keep up the great work.
And the many prayer partners, each one so
Yes.
incredibly valuable.
Yeah, so many volunteers who come in and give of their time. Thanks, Paul.